let's talk a little bit about Brandon Aiyuk. And we can talk about it through the lens of Kyle Shanahan and then also what CMC said today. What were your thoughts when listening to the players talk about the situation and then Shanahan talk about the situation at hand? What did you walk away with?
I mean, obviously CMC slipping, being one of his former ex-teammates, right? That I think that sums up what the team feels. At least the players, right? They feel like this isn't getting resolved and BA is on his way to being traded. And I would, if you see it through that lens, Kyle Shanahan, I think, has been usually when it comes to these negotiations, he's always like, anything could happen. Like, we might be dead on Sunday. Like there's always like it could go any way.
Last Second Sports is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Link is in the description. Promo code LSS. First-time depositors using my link will receive a special pick plus up to $250 in bonus cash. Don't miss out. Click the link today. Thank you, Underdog, for being a sponsor. Now back to the video.
But he verified that Brandon Aiyuk has the ability to talk to other teams. I don't think that's ever been on the table at any of these negotiations, right? It's never gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, not only is trading just quote unquote on the table, like they always answer, everything's on the table. No, there's action being taken towards a trade. And in my mind, that means that it's more likely going that direction than them finding a solution, right? We know that when Trent Williams was on the fence and he had another option with Kansas City, and he could take that. Kyle Shanahan stepped in and said, "Yo, we need this. This is a guy that we need. Get him his money." Obviously, you would think that this would be the point where it's like, if he needs Brandon Aiyuk, he's like, let's get there, and let's get this guy. Especially with what you're mentioning about the wide receivers, but he said, "Hey, we're prepared for this, and I'm good to go with whoever's out there." And I don't think I need Brandon Aiyuk. And I think that that's what it would take to get a deal done with Brandon Aiyuk is Kyle Shanahan saying, I need this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, no, and I agree wholeheartedly. That's certainly what he put out. And maybe that's the stance behind the scenes. I also think that there's a real possibility where he's not a dummy. He knows he can't sit there and be like, yeah, we need him. Because if they don't have him, then what does that say to the rest of the team and your confidence in them? So there could be a scenario where behind the scenes, like, listen, get this done. And they're like, we can't. Like, money-wise, with Purdy about to get paid or, X coming up or whatever, it's like, we can't go above this number, Kyle. Like, he's not willing to accept it. We don't have a choice here. So I think that it could be both. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I mean, outwardly, certainly it was, hey, man, we're good. Next man up. We trust in the rookies that we took. We'll figure it out from here. And as Showtime says, Pearsall caught a bomb today against D'Lo. And I think maybe you were Showtime, maybe not. Anyways, somebody was really like big up and like Pearsall yesterday was like, listen, like Pearsall is going to be able to fill in for Aiyuk. And I'm like, I would pump the brakes on his rookie year being able to just step right in and get 1,300 yards. But maybe you're right. The problem is that he did, and that's awesome. But he promptly got hurt for the third time during training camp / OTAs. That's not good. And I can also say, seeing Pearsall in person, he's very, 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 very slender, very small framed. And he's 24 years old. So I don't know that there's a lot of room for growth there based off of what his frame will hold. So that is a bit of a concern. Third time already being hurt. It's hard to, quote unquote, stack days if you can't even stay out there. But yeah, man, I think that overall, your read on what Shanahan said is right there. So let's talk about some of the things that we've heard as far as what might be out there for Aiyuk. And you tell me if that's enough for you to move him in that scenario. So let's start with Cleveland. We've heard that what's the name of the wide receiver? I'm drawing a blank.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper and a pick. Let's say second or third round pick. How do you feel about that trade if that were to come to fruition?
I mean, Amari Cooper. If you look at Amari Cooper's stats and Brandon Aiyuk's stats, just side by side, not like the extended or whatever the extra stats are, pretty identical. They both maximize yards off of very not as many opportunities, which I think bodes well. So I mean, I think Brandon Aiyuk is a better receiver than Amari Cooper. Obviously younger. I think he fits into this system better. However, Amari Cooper is done well wherever he goes. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter what the system is. It doesn't matter, what the pressure is. From the Raiders to the Cowboys to Cleveland, he's always, even when he's not supposed to be the number one option, he's outplaying the number one option. And people are wondering, I wonder why people keep trading him, because all he does is produce. So I would be intrigued by that option. If we have to lose Aiyuk, right? This is obviously
your preference is not to lose Aiyuk.
Yeah. Both of us have mentioned how he's one of our favorite players. He's my favorite player on the team. He's one of your favorite players on the team.
Yeah, for sure.
But if we have to lose him, which I'm working under that impression right now, that I am intrigued by. Much rather it be a second round pick than a third, but I like the player coming back.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's not the long-term answer that Aiyuk is, but for one season, if you're still trying to keep a Super Bowl caliber team on the field, Amari Cooper keeps you afloat there. And then you also get a pick for the future to draft whatever. I think that's extremely fair. So I would love that coming back in return. Okay, let's talk about the Patriots. Now, the Patriots rumor is Kendrick Bourne, who has been here. I mean, they've already got Breida. They've already got Taylor. Why not just bring back Kendrick Bourne, get that 2019 squad going, and a second round pick, which you would assume would be a pretty high pick from the Patriots. How would you feel about that trade?
So this one, I mean, I get why Shanahan would be intrigued, because he likes people that are familiar with his system. Bourne's coming off of an injury. What is he going to look like? Like, that deal, I'm not as excited about, because Kendrick Bourne, if we were that excited about him, we would have never let him walk. You know what I mean? To bring him back and lose, I just think that drop off is a lot. Even though I do think that if Kendrick Bourne's healthy, he'll be productive on this team, but that it doesn't excite me.